Hey there everybody, this is Lego Lover 117 coming back at you with yet another video. And right now, we are doing the 3 years on YouTube Q&A answer video. That's right guys, it's finally here, and as you can see in front of you, you see some characters that are coming back, I guess you could say, in Soto's Legend of the Lost Treasure. I thought that was a nice little reference. As you see, there's Donald and Douglas, there's both my mics, and yes, I got Frank, finally. You don't follow me on Twitter already. Posted a picture of Frank the other day. But yes, I did get Frank, finally. So yeah, thought that would be a nice site for your viewing eye holes to look at while I'm answering your questions. And I've got my questions pulled up on my handy dandy laptop here. This thing's amazing. I love it so much. But they're all in a Word document. And I'll be answering them here live on camera. So hopefully I can get this done within half an hour. Maybe, maybe not, if I answer them quickly and don't dwell on too many questions or ramble on too much in the opening like I'm doing right now. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the questions. First question comes from Mike123. Would you rather Pip and Emma be made into TWR or Bear? You know, I'd have to say I'd rather see Pip and Emma be made into TWR, because Bear is such an easy custom to make. Like seriously, all you need is an old style Bear from 1996 and just paint it. That's it. You can't really do that with Pip and Emma. I mean, you can, but not really though. I'd rather go with Pip and Emma. Next questions. Wooden RS. Number 1. What MCU movie would you want to be released that hasn't been announced yet? Interesting question there, Sam. Most of the stuff that I wanted to see was announced in Phase 3. But if I'd have to go with the fan side of me, Iron Man 4. I really wanted to see Robert Downey Jr. in another solo Iron Man movie. But for overall story, I want to see a Punisher movie. I want to see a Marvel Cinematic Universe Punisher movie. Because to be honest, we haven't really gotten a good Punisher movie. I mean, the 2004 rendition of Punisher was alright. I happen to own it, and it is pretty good, but it's not the best movie ever made. What would you consider to be the pride of both your Lego collection and your TWR collection? Pride of my TWR collection most likely would either be the Knapford Express Coach, because that's pretty uncommon, especially for the good price I found it for. And for the Lego collection, I have to say my original Han Solo and Carbonite figure. You guys want to see that? This guy right here. This is probably the pride of it, because this is pretty uncommon. This is a pretty uncommon piece. I don't remember exactly when or where I got it, but... Number 3. What is the best trilogy of movies in your opinion? Oh gosh, there's so many good trilogies out there. I'd have to say either Star Wars or, God, I'm trying to think here. I mean, there's so many good trilogies out there that are coming to mind. I can't place them anywhere. I'd have to say Star Wars pretty much, because you know, Star Wars is like the quintessential movie experience. But then you've got others. You've got like the Indiana Jones trilogy, not counting the fourth one. You've got the Iron Man trilogy. You've got Back to the Future. You've got the Godfather trilogy. You got so many trilogies of movies out there. But truthfully, I think Star Wars is the one that takes the cake for me. Although I really do like the Iron Man trilogy, even though Iron Man 2 is involved in it. Okay, next bunch of questions comes from Edward Tophat. Number 1, do you like Thunderbirds? Never heard of it. Number 2, do you like Captain Scarlet? Never heard of it. Number 3, which Railway Series book would you like to see in CGI? Enterprising Engines, more than likely. Number 4, if they made another special like the Adventure Begins, which Railway Series books would you like to see adapted? Well, if they're going to make a sequel to the Adventure Begins, it's got to be Season 2. Like, you have to bring in Percy. You got to bring in Toby. You got to bring in those stories. I mean, you just have to. There's no other way to make a sequel. without Percy and Toby being introduced. And Duck as well. Number 5, which characters would you like to see in CGI? I'd like to see Boko come back. And for one thing, I'd really like to see Derek come back. Because for some reason, he just seemed like a cool character, and they really didn't do much with him in Season 5. And, you know, it's kind of cool to see forgotten characters come back to the screen and actually given a personality. Number 6, if you could write one CGI episode for Series 20, what would it be about? Funny thing, involving the Arsdale characters, I actually have, like, an idea of, like, a series of episodes for, like, Series 20 or something about the Arsdale characters. So picture this. The Arsdale engines have just been bought from a seller on the mainland. And one of the characters, Jock, has just had a nasty accident. And this accident is, like, just beyond terrible. Like, Jock is, like, completely, like, messed up beyond recognition. So the only way to save Jock is to convert him to a standard gauge engine. You follow me on here? And then send him to Sodor first. And then this will lead into a whole, like, character arc with Jock having to deal with his closest friends being smaller than him, and he's now so much bigger, and he's got to, like, you know, deal with being separate from them. And I think that that's an interesting idea for Thomas to go. Obviously, Hit won't use it, but I think that'd be pretty interesting. Next question from RyanTron12. Out of all the items you wanted, which item was the hardest one to get? Well, I really wanted the Knapford Express Coach. That was really hard to get. Flying Scotsman was hard to find because when the new one was released, you couldn't really find a new one for a cheap price, and you still can't find a new one for a cheap price. You still can't find a 99 one for a cheap price. So I'd say either the Knapford or Flying Scotsman. Next set of questions from Boko Fan 14. Sorry, I butchered that. Number 1, favorite season from the new series, series 8 to 12. Is it sad to say I haven't seen all of the episodes from those seasons? I really can't say what a favorite season from those seasons are because I haven't watched a full season from any of those, and to be honest, none of them are really that good. Favorite episode in general? Stepney Gets Lost. I love that one. 3, do you like Mountain Dew? Yes, I love Mountain Dew. I drink it all the frickin' time. I actually had one when I woke up this morning. Favorite narrator? George Carlin. Number 5, if you could be on any game show, which one would you be on? I don't watch a lot of game shows. I don't know. Probably like Jeopardy or something. I'd probably suck at Jeopardy, but you know, if it was Thomas Jeopardy or Marvel Jeopardy, I'd be on top of it. Next set of questions comes from Ease Cully Studios. I think that's how you pronounce that. Number 1, what's your favorite Lego set? I don't really have a favorite, to be honest. I mean, they're all pretty decent, or they're all really good. Number 2, who's your favorite Thomas character? Oliver. That's the engine, not the pack character. Number 3, what is your favorite TWR item? I know I said in my first Q&A that my favorite was the gray troublesome truck, but it's not. I changed it. It's now the standard... Hang on, I'll just show you. My favorite item of the TWR range is the standard black cargo car. Because it's so versatile. You can use it for anything. You can put anything in it. You can do so much with this thing. And it's so simplistic and it's so awesome. And I think that and I really think that people rag on it because, oh, it's made out of plastic all around. So what? Half of the Thomas Wooden Railway is plastic nowadays. Get over it, for Christ's sakes. I love this thing, and it is just so versatile, and I really want more of them. I've got like 5 or 6 of them, but I really want more, because they're just so versatile in what you can do with them. Number 4, do I like Sodor's Legend of the Lost Treasure? From what I've seen of it, it looks awesome. Yes, it does look a bit unrealistic, but I can move past that. It's not Misty Island Rescue, for Christ's sakes. At least I hope it's not. And number 5, what is your favorite Thomas season? Season 5, no doubt. I'm not a Railway series enthusiast. I like it, and I like series 1, 2, 3, and 4, but season 5 is just the best. Next question's from Milky Way 77. Why did I start YouTube? Because I felt like it, I guess. I started YouTube originally to do Lego reviews. I've told my backstory thousands and thousands of times. I'm pretty sure you all know it by heart now, but I'll go ahead and tell it again. I started YouTube to do Lego reviews. I wasn't getting the views I wanted. I was only doing it for like a month. I was a noob back then, and so I stopped. I removed all of them, and I stopped on my account for quite some time. Then I stumbled upon the TWR community, and I watched some vids that I had seen back when I was like 6 or 7, I think. Yeah, as it turns out, I knew about the community before I was even on YouTube, and I didn't even remember. I transitioned to doing One Railway stuff, and it's been a blast ever since. Really, that's why I started, is because I wanted to make content that people liked, and the Lego stuff people just didn't like. I tried to bring it back a few times, but it didn't work out, and everyone seems to love my Thomas content, so I guess I'll just keep making that. And plus, it's fun to make. Number 2, will you ever make gaming vids? I don't know if I'll ever do that. I mean, I make Roblox videos. Roblox sort of counts as gaming, in my book at least. I do have an Xbox 360. I play that quite often, actually. Maybe I will. Maybe one day. I know I'm probably gonna get Star Wars Battlefront for my laptop, like for PC. So maybe I'll film myself doing that. I don't know. Gaming for me is sort of a gray area. Next question from Edward Fan 12. What was your first Thomas train? The old style Thomas from 2001. That was my first Thomas train, and actually it was Thomas. It was the coach from the 10 Years in America pack, and then an old style Percy. Those were my first 3 characters because I got those first. And then I got the old style James like a few weeks after that. Next few questions come from Thomas Wooden Tales. Number 1, what is your favorite band? AC/DC. Number 2, do you play any musical instruments? No, I don't. I tried my hand at piano back in the 7th grade. It was the 6th and 7th grade I started doing piano, but I just said, you know what, screw it, this is too hard. Reading music is complex, people. I can't do that. Number 3, what types of music do you listen to? Mainly like classic rock, like Motley Crue, Bon Jovi, AC/DC, that kind of stuff. And then maybe like one rap song. I mean, I'm not really into rap, but I do have the Shell Shocked from Ninja Turtles 2014. That's a really good song. I really like that one. And then I also like film, like I love the Avengers and the Avengers Age of Ultron themes. Those are some of the best themes ever. And like Star Wars, Jurassic Park, the original Superman theme. Like, I've got all of those on my phone right here. So yeah, classic rock, or I mean just rock in general, film themes, and I'm not really sure if this counts as music, but podcasts. I love podcasts. Like, my favorites are Star Wars Beyond the Films, hosted by Nathan P. Butler, and shoot, I'm blanking on his name right now. Mark Herleman. Now playing podcast hosted by Arnie, Stewart, and Jacob. I don't know I know Arnie's last name, but I don't know Stewart and Jacobs. And Star Wars Rebels Round Table. I freaking love those 3 podcasts. They're some of my favorites out there. Next questions come from Duck and Duncan. Now, this dude asked over 50 questions, but I'm not answering 50 questions. I picked a select few. So, number 1, why do I make videos? Because I enjoy making content for you guys to watch. And if you're wondering where I'm zooming in and zooming out, it's because the viewfinder on my camera keeps going dim because I'm not doing anything on it. Number 2, which Marvel character do you hate the most? Not really sure. I don't really hate a lot of Marvel characters. Most of them are pretty good. Number 3, why do I love Marvel so much? Because Marvel really got me back into loving films, and plus Marvel is just awesome. Number 4, which Marvel superhero do you like the best? It's a 3-way tie between Wolverine, Iron Man, and Punisher. Number 5, which Marvel villain do I like the best? Hands down, Loki is the man. But I really liked Aldrich Killian from Iron Man 3. I loved that villain. I don't know why, but he was like just amazing. Number 6, what are your thoughts on Skiff and Sailor John? Skiff seems like a weird idea for an engine, even a character at most. Sailor John, I'm not really sure how to feel about Sailor John. He seems alright. Which Marvel movie do you like the best? Avengers? Are you excited for Ant-Man? Yeah, I am. I'm really pumped for Ant-Man. The reviews I'm seeing for it are saying it looks amazing. They're saying that Marvel has done it once again. So I got high hopes for Ant-Man. What are your thoughts on Jurassic World? Alright, Jurassic World was freaking amazing. I don't care what you say about it. The Raptors were awesome. Chris Pratt was awesome. The dinos were awesome. The boss fight at the end was awesome. Everything about it was just awesome. I don't see why people are hating on it. It was amazing. It was so much better than Lost World and Jurassic Park 3. Was it better than the first one? No. But it was still really, really good. What user would you like to meet up with the most? If I'm going practical, like it could really happen, Hiro the Japanese train or Roman the TWR collector, because the 3 of us, we live pretty commonly close to each other. So, I mean, that could actually happen. But going with who I would want to, like, outside of it could actually happen, I'd still say those guys, but I'm not really sure who else. I'd probably like to meet up with Ted, because Ted just seems like a really fun guy to hang out with. He would probably give me a review of Mike, a live review of Mike. This guy's name is Mike. What are your thoughts on the new 2015 Wooden Railway stuff? I think it's pretty good. I think that some users are a bit overly critical of it. I mean, we've got some great stuff. Not the bubble loader, but I do think that some people are a bit over critical of the newer stuff. Like, yeah, well, why is Origins James so special? It's just a repainted James, blah, blah, blah. Because it's an Origins James. Enough said. What are your thoughts on the new minis? I love the minis range. They're so great. And they're really easy to get, really. What are your thoughts on Erdls? I like Erdls. They're really cool. I've got 4 of them. Yeah, I think that they're one of the best Thomas ranges, or they were. If you left YouTube, what would I do? Not really sure what I would do. Probably go and watch movies more often. If Thomas and his friends were real, what would I do? I would book my plane ticket to go to the island of Sodor and film a bunch of vlogs there. Last one from him. If Marvel superheroes were real, what would I do? I would go and apply for a job at Stark Industries. Next questions come from TWR Railway Fanatic 1. Number 1, what did you first think of the CGI switchover? I thought it was practical. I think it's what they needed to do because the models were costing them way too much money to keep filming with. I wasn't like going nuts when they switched to CGI. I thought it was alright. I thought that the stories were not as good, but I think it was practical for what they did. Number 2, what are your top 10 favorite characters? And what are your top 10 least favorite characters? If I'm going to make a top 10 list, I need time to prepare. I didn't prepare for this. So, my least favorites, Charlie, Billy, the logging locos, just the first few that come to mind. My favorites, Oliver, Gordon, and James. I don't know why, but I've always really liked James's character. Number 4, what do you think is the worst made model? Not really sure about that. What do you think is the best made model? Oh, the worst made model? Probably Skiff. And the best made model? Probably the new Gordon, because they got that so accurate to the CGI model of Gordon. What's my favorite place on Sodor? I don't know a lot of places on Sodor, actually. But if I had to pick one, probably Knepford Station? Maybe Farquhar or Maithwaite Station? Maithwaite Station's cool. I really like Maithwaite. Number 8, if you lived on Sodor, where would you want to live? Probably near like Maithwaite Station or something like that. In that area, general area. What inspired you to make Thomas vids? Well, I've already answered that sort of, but it was seeing others work on YouTube and saying that, hey, I can do this because I have these wooden trains that I haven't played with for years. I can make these videos. And that's exactly what I did. 10. If I gave you $5,000, what would you buy for your collection? Shoot, I don't know what I'd do with $5,000 for my collection. Probably buy more black cargo cars for one thing. I'd buy the new mic. I'd wait for Rex and Bert to come out, then I'd buy them. Buy some more coaches, for crying out loud. I need some more coaches. Yeah, I'd basically buy more rolling stock and some newer characters. Next questions come from Oliver Duck. Number 1, what do you think of people who ask 50 questions? I don't know, Ted. What do I think about them? Number 2, do you think there is any questions that people didn't ask? Actually, reading through the questions, I was surprised that nobody asked anything about home media reviews. I was kind of shocked about that. Number 3, if you had $200 to go on an eBay shopping spree, what would you buy? I actually do have $200, but I'm not going on an eBay shopping spree. But if I was going to, probably buy a track lot, maybe a VHS tape or 2, and some more coaches. Next question is coming from Renee's Fan 25. What's your favorite TWR item? Already answered that. Number 2, what TWR item do you want the most? Not really sure. I mean, I wanted Frank, and I got Frank. I'd say I probably want, like, Caroline, or someone like that. Or maybe just, like, some standard trucks. Like, some more gray, troublesome trucks would be just perfect. What's your favorite Thomas the Tank Engine episode? Stepney gets lost. Already answered that. What's your biggest... Wait, who was your biggest inspiration to become a Thomas user? Geek Grade 24, pretty much. Oh, and Jay Louvier. I saw his reviews too. Number 5, what's your biggest pet peeve? When people talk in a movie theater or just like anything but that is not watching the movie that's playing. Like, next few questions come from Shining Time Studios. What made you start Lego Lover 117? Already answered that. What was your first TWR item? I've already answered that. Number 3, Railway Series or TV series? The TV series, mainly because I like to watch things. Like, I don't like to read. I hate reading. So the TV series, what I would go with. Next questions come from Coley Phil 1. If you could make a Thomas and Friends movie, what would it be about? Gosh, I don't know. Probably do that thing I was talking about earlier with the Arsdale engines, you know, like with Jock becoming a standard gauge character and call it like the Chronicles of Arsdale or something. If you can make your own Thomas and Friends character, what would it be like? Probably make it like my personality, you know, just fun, spunky, always has like a quip to throw out or something. Which Railway Series character would you like to appear in the television series? I'm going to say I'd like to see Wilbert in the TV series. If you could write another Railway Series book, what would it be about? I'd like to see more of the Coley Fell engines. They were pretty cool. Number 5, which series on the YouTube is the best in your opinion? Really like Milk Tanker Media's series. His is really, really good. I've been watching that more recently. MPS's series is good. Sort of Stories is pretty good. There really isn't a best series on YouTube, in my opinion. They're all really, really good. Number 6, what do you think of Turtles and Thomas's movie called Authority? I liked it. It was pretty good. I'm not the biggest fanboy of Subject and Conflict, actually. I mean, I think it's an alright series, but I do feel that, yes, it was at a bit of a standstill, because really, all the engines could do was just sit there and wait to be captured, pretty much. But, you know, it was a really good movie. I liked how he brought back Hitler, and how, you know, I'm not going to spoil it, but I really like how he brought him back and how he wasn't just like gone for the rest of the season. But it was pretty good. Next set of questions come from Mr. J. Pub. Who's your favorite DC superhero? Batman. 2, who's your favorite Marvel superhero? I've already answered that. It's a 3-way tie between Punisher, Wolverine, and Iron Man. 3, what are your thoughts on Sordo's Legend of the Lost Treasure? Kinda already answered that. It looks really good. 4, what do you think of Percy's new U.S. voice? I miss Martin Sherman. Number 5, what are your thoughts on Batman v Superman? After seeing the Comic-Con trailer, pretty pumped for it. Who's your favorite non-rail character? Birdie or Bulgy? I really like Bulgy. 7, who's your favorite Miller era character? Oh god. I don't have a favorite Miller era character, actually. They all suck. 8, what are your thoughts on Season 19? Season 19 was pretty good. Wasn't, you know, the best. Or well, it hasn't been the best yet. I still think that Season 18 is a bit better, but so far it's been pretty solid. Who's Jeffrey wasn't the best episode. 9, besides Wooden Railway, what merchandising range is my favorite? The Minis is really good. Taking Place kind of gone downhill, really. Same with Trackmaster, so I'd have to say the Minis. Next few questions come from the Red Engine. Number 1, when did you first get into Thomas? Long as I can remember, really. 2, was there ever a period where you weren't interested in Thomas? Yes, there was. I'd say from when I was about 5 or 6, I kind of got out of it. Then when I was about 10 and found the Thomas community again, I got back into it, I guess. Or no, I'd say when Hero of the Rails came out in 2011, I got back into it. 3, what are your thoughts on the Thomas DC crossover? It's weird, it's out there, but I think it can work if they do it right. I would rather it be Thomas and Marvel, but I guess this is alright too. 4, do you prefer the classic series or the Adventure Begins versions of the original stories? Let's go ahead and say it right now. The Adventure Begins was just awesome. In terms of nostalgia, the classic series is better. But in terms of newer, more fresh ideas, I'd go with Adventure Begins, actually. 5, would you buy a Blu-ray set of the classic series? Most people would probably say yes, but for one thing, I weigh a few variables when I think about, like buying like sets of things, like, because the only Blu-ray set I have is the Indiana Jones set. So let's weigh this here. The price. The price is probably going to be outrageous. It's probably going to be up there within the $70, $80, maybe $90 range, because you've got all these episodes, you've got all these discs, and that's going to raise the price. And another factor, will it have season 7 in it? Because guys, I'm not the biggest fan of season 7. Season 7 to me is like the odd man out in the classic series. Seasons 1 through 6 are solid. Season 7, not as much. I love the pack episodes. Those are awesome. But the others, they just feel out of place for me. But if it does have season 7, I'll probably still buy it though. I just won't watch them. But in terms of actually, like buying the set, yeah, I would buy it, actually. Because it'd be great to see Thomas and Friends in that quality of picture. Next question, or second to last question, actually, it comes from Paints, Pots, and Queens. Do you like another show apart from Thomas? Yeah, I like a lot of shows apart from Thomas. I love Daredevil on Netflix. I binge watched that, and that's an amazing series. I love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I cannot wait for season 3 to come out. I love Seinfeld. Seinfeld is amazing, guys. Seriously, if you have never watched Seinfeld, go watch it now. It is like the quintessential American sitcom from the 90s. And the last show, or the second to last show, I love The Middle. I love that sitcom. That's a really cool one. And actually, I'm really into Ninjago. I really like that show for some reason. I keep watching it. It's gotten significantly worse, but I keep watching it for some reason. They fought ghosts in the last season. Like, for crying out loud, you're running out of ideas. And our last question comes from Ethan at Davis Selby. He asked me this over Twitter. Which character are you looking forward to the most in Soda's Legend of the Lost Treasure? The Arsdale engines. I'm really looking forward to seeing them. And like I said, that was the last question, guys. So thanks for watching the Q&A. 3 years on YouTube Q&A. I really hope you guys sat through this entire Q&A answer vid, because I had a tough time filming this. Literally, my legs are asleep right now. So yeah, I'll go ahead and say when the live stream is going to be, because like I said, I've got my computer now, so I can live stream whenever the heck I feel like it. So I will say that the live stream is coming in the next week or so. I'll probably make a separate announcement video for it, but it is coming soon. It's coming in the next week or so. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching the Q&A answers vid. Sorry for wasting over 50 minutes of your time. If this turns out to be 50 minutes long, it probably is. But sorry for that. But you're the one who clicked on the vid. So, ha, sucker, I got your view. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and as always, good night, everybody.